All right, guys, Copper Cutlass here. So, big weekend for us this weekend. Took the car out on Saturday. It was hot. My drive up there was 87, 88 degrees. Cooled off a little bit when I got to the track, which is a little closer to Lake Michigan, up in southeast Wisconsin. It was about 85 degrees for the most part. We made our last run about 6:30, 6:40-ish. I made 6 runs altogether, and made a couple of various changes throughout my runs, but we did finally run an 11:89 in true me fashion. And this is where I believe, life comes full circle. My very first 13-second pass, my very first time out, I managed that tossing the alternator belt, and that happened again. So I ran an 11:89, but I also made an exhaust change. I did realize that my X-pipe on this specific engine is very restrictive. So at the track, I took off the X-pipe and I put on some header extensions that I had made previously, and the engine really liked it. The engine picked up, and our little pizza pan tray was a success. We picked up 2 miles an hour with that. So that's really good. The highest trap speed I had prior to that was 109. And so that actually worked out. And if everybody is going to think that it's the exhaust, I made 5 passes with the open X-pipe. My very last pass, I took off the X-pipe and just put on the header extensions. And then I made a couple of shock setting changes at the track. I got rid of the drag radials and went to bias plies. And my biggest fear with the bias plies was that most people tend to say, especially if you're running with tubes, that you're going to lose mile an hour, the car's going to slow down. We didn't slow down at all. We got rid of a lot of tire spin. I'm still getting a little tire spin, so I still need some suspension work. I got to look at the front now. I spent a lot of time on the rear. Either that or I'm going to have to throw some ballast in it, because I am getting 1 to 2 full revolutions of spin, which isn't a lot, but the difference between me hooking and getting those 2 full turns revolutions are, it's like the difference in the 60 foot's like a 1.63 and a 1.69. Not the biggest change, but 60 foot is everything when you're trying to chase down an ET. And the other thing was, so I dropped down the shift point. It seemed to like it, but we're going to play with that later, because again, I still have some carburetor issues, and I am glad that on my birthday I decided to tune the carb a little bit and spend some time on it, because I still had some issues with it. So we went back and made some changes the Thursday before we went out to the track, and it really liked the changes, so we went out to the track and it liked it. So 1189 at 111 with a 163 60 foot, and to still pump gas, street driven, small block olds. The only difference is when I go to the track, I'm dumping the exhaust and putting slicks on it, and that's about it. And I think I'm going to end up changing the exhaust on this so that I can put some cutouts, and I'm going to go to a full 3-inch exhaust. This car is due for an exhaust. I've been running the same cobbled up X-pipe setup for well over 10 years now. It's definitely held up considering how often I remove this exhaust and have made many changes. So with that in mind, what's the next step? We are going to make some changes. I'm going to be putting an MSD on it, locking out the timing. And as far as any mechanical changes, I don't think I'm going to change anything until the very late fall. I might go to like a 4500 stall and see what that delivers. But I think with some cool air, a couple of the changes we're going to make, I think we might be able to get 1170s out of it before we make a torque converter change, and who knows, maybe 1160s. Don't know, but we'll take it one step at a time. But it's a good feeling that the car is running right about where it should, where I kind of wanted it. I was not expecting to go to the track and run 11s at all for the weekend because it was so hot, but I'm like, I just have to go out there, try to get the car to hook was my goal. So I was focusing on driving. I'm kind of getting my reactions back pretty good with the hitting the shift light pretty good, and car ran great. It was hot, but the car Ran good all day. We made 6 passes in a couple of hours and can't complain. And then we have to wrap up that small block, which I do plan on wrapping up this weekend. All I gotta do is clean the intake and bolt it in. But I wanted to hit the track the weekend after my birthday, so I had to focus on getting back to this. And then I am going to be building a transmission, so I got rebuild kit, shift kit for the transmission for that engine as well, and that way we can get that done and it can get installed and taken care of. So guys, again, I am sorry that the videos that I posted, the quality isn't the greatest. It was a strict business day. My buddy's probably got the best video of my 11-second run, and his YouTube page, I think his handle name is Dave the Freak. He's also the guy who did my cylinder heads. He's a really good friend of mine, but he's got the best video of my 11-second pass. The one that we posted up is like cut short because of the slow motion feature on the phone. But the other ones were like 12-0 runs, so they were pretty much about the same. You know, they're only running about a tenth and a half faster or something like that. So, so again, sorry about the lack of good videos on that. But I promise next time we go out, we'll get some better shots of the car in action. And I think I'm gonna use the GoPro a little bit more on the inside of the car. So yeah, as always guys, follow, like us, subscribe, share. If you think somebody out there would like what we're doing, follow us on Facebook, Copper's Garage, and on Instagram, Copper Cutlass. I've been posting a whole lot there in the last 2 weeks. I got really busy and it's just like, it's hard to stop and take pictures of stuff as I've been going, especially at work. I post a lot of stuff from work on Instagram and a lot of different car stuff on Facebook, and my videos are kind of like updates. So if you guys follow those, it kind of fills in the blanks sometimes, because hands-on videos are, unless I'm doing something specific I can show you guys, you know, like degreeing a cam is something that's out there and probably done a lot better by other people. So I'll show you my little tips here and there. But again guys, thank you for watching. Stick around, have more stuff coming up.